Y'all know Wesley Hawkins from the No Leader Project. You know, you can look me up, THENOLITA, and that's Project INC. You know, you can call 424-653-7663. You want to get in contact, email, or, just shout us out any form. But we do a lot of things for the community: college readiness, entrepreneurship, life skills, character building. We help kids with mentoring. We work inside of the schools. We just do a bunch of things outside of the community every Saturday from 9 to 11. So if you want to be a part, you want to be a mentor, you want to be an agent of change, hit us up.
All right, the No Leader Project, Baltimore City, doing great things. Aisha, the next one be William. She a little shy, radio shy, camera shy. She a little shy. All right, y'all, listen. My hair is looking so crazy right now. It's still on vacation. Had that 14-hour flight today.
And you made it here.
Made it here. I couldn't miss y'all 2 weeks in a row. So we have a few things coming up. You see my little domestic violence awareness button. So we're celebrating domestic violence awareness for all of those victims out there. You know, you made it. You're a survivor. So we're celebrating you. It's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You know, so we're all, celebrating it all, baby. So make sure you give somebody a hug, and we're praying for all of the survivors, those who are still struggling. We have the 4th annual 50 Shades of Blue conference coming up. It's going to be on October the 20th. It's going to be from 12 to 6 at the Furley Recreational Center. The tickets are still for sale right now on Eventbrite. We're probably still looking for some sponsors, some sponsor swag bag. There'll be giveaways, vendors, workshops, food, playground for the children, plenty of parking, wheelchair accessibility. What are you waiting for? Go get your tickets. For sponsorship information, you can contact 50 Shades of Blue Baltimore at gmail.com. All right, so tonight we're just going to be talking about some of the things that are happening in the community. Your friend, your president, Mr. Trump, his homeboy, nepotism, Kavanaugh, despite the political propaganda, has been confirmed. He will be in the Supreme Court. I'm saying that because we talked about our people who are exiled in prisons right now. So Supreme Courts, while they don't try cases, they do make decisions on cases that set precedent for years and years and years to come. So I can't express how important it is for you to get out there and vote. It is coming up. I don't know how you register. Google it. How do you register to vote? But register to vote. Make sure you're out there voting. It's coming up. This election does count. Wesley, you have anything to say about Mr. Kavanaugh or nepotism in politics?
What I have to say is it's very important for our people to vote, and not just because Trump is in office. It was important for us to vote before Trump even got in office. Maybe if we took it more serious, maybe we paid attention, maybe we sit back and watch what's going on with all the laws and, appointed judges and appointed people who are in certain office. Certain things won't happen that affects us on a high level. We need to take things serious. There's too many of us sitting around saying, "Oh, I'm not voting because nothing's going to change anyway." Actually, that's the wrong way of thinking. If we continue to sit back and say we're not going to take a position or take a stance or do something because you feel like something is not going to change, that's the wrong ideology, which means that's the wrong way of thinking. And if you think that way, things will stay the same. The reason why so many things have stayed the same and we have suffered at the hands of it staying the same is because a lot of us aren't stepping up, putting enough energy, effort, and taking the time to actually do more. We have to make a stance. We have to take a stance. We have to do more in our communities. We have to do more for our people. We have to do more for our kids. We have to do more for our families. So it's very important for you to get out there and vote, because voting leads to other things. If you put the wrong person in office, you see what's happening.
Yeah.
Trump is highly affected. any person that considers himself a person of color. I know a lot of Latinos, I know a lot of Mexicans, and I can only speak for my people as maybe being a black man, but I also know a lot of Latinos and Mexicans, and these people are good people. These people are hard workers. These people do, the best they can for their families and community, just like the white families, just like the black families, just like any other color family that you can find that's doing something. So to be alienated and isolated from individuals, for your kids to be put away in camps, for you to be ripped away from your families, that is something that is heartbreaking. For the things and the messages that is put out in the air and the atmosphere that black men and women are worthless and they don't do anything. All you gotta do is Google it and look it up. On live television, he said, black people, you have nothing else to lose, so you might as well vote for me. Don't take my word on it. Go look it up. He said that on live national television. He said, black people, you have nothing. What else do you have to lose? You might as well vote for me. When you have somebody speaking and saying such words like that, we should have known from the jump that wasn't a good person to have in office. But we failed ourselves and we failed the country. And I'm one of the people who's going to say, we can't keep blaming stuff on everybody else. We got to start doing work ourselves. So if you're an individual who don't go vote, maybe you need to step up this year and go vote. So that's my stance on it. I vote because I want my voice to count. I want my vote to count. And I want things to matter to me. Even if it don't go in my direction or my way, I know I did my part. So that's how you should all feel about it. If you are legally able to vote, do your part. Because if you live in this country and you have kids, not doing your part is going to do what? Affect your kids. It's going to affect your family. It's going to affect your neighbors and your friends and coworkers. So my stance on it is do your part.
Yes. So if you have anything else to add?
What's going on with the case though? With Kavanaugh and the FBI and all of this other
Girl,
stuff?
they threw that out. That's no longer relevant.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's something else, I guess.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he had them not go any further. He basically stopped them from investigating that. So thank you, Tawanda, for putting up the voter services. It's https://voterservices.elections.maryland.gov/online voter registration/instruction step 1. So if you're watching this live and you're not registered to vote, please look at Tawanda's comment and go register to vote. Encourage your family members and friends who are eligible to vote. Please get out there and vote. This election, what you do at the polls will count. Trust and believe there's a bigger agenda that Wesley always talks about, and they are putting people in place to follow through with that agenda. So make sure you go out and vote. So speaking about children, while I was out on vacation, y'all had a wonderful time in Dubai. If you ever have a chance to visit, please, go visit. It was a lot of fun. They had so many things to do. I wish we had the rest of the day in Abu Dhabi to spend some time there. But if you ever get a chance to go visit. I'm planning a trip to go to Jamaica in August. You can make payments. I'll put the information out. So anybody who wants to go, let's go have some fun. Going on a cruise to Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Martin, and St. Kitts in November. It's cheap, $549 for an inside cabin, leaving from Puerto Rico. So if you want to go with, come join me. Let's have some fun. It'll be great.
You letting your head down.
Yes.
Yeah, she's showing love.
Yes.
Showing
You
love.
gotta celebrate yourself sometimes.
You do, that you do.
Work way
Just
too hard.
got back from Dubai.
Right.
You said what? Where's she going out?
Jamaica in
Jamaica.
August.
Just got
yes.
back from Dubai, going to Jamaica. You making moves. I hear you.
Yes, I'm trying to get that passport stamped out.
What you crying off for, Ted?
I know that's right.
So, how many people were killed in the city? Wow.
I can tell you. I don't keep count.
I ain't sure. Look it up.
I think it was like 17 or 18. Might even have been 19.
17 or 18 people
Over
killed
the weekend.
over hot. What
Like
what's
in
the
a
time?
time frame. If
So-
that long.
So we saying within the 2 week time frame, 17 to 18 people killed in our city.
Yes.
And, regardless on whatever the reasons are, people got to really take that to heart. Because I teach, and I tell my students all the time, please don't think the street life is a game. Please don't think that it's fun and games out here when you looking at, television, or when you're listening to the music, or when you're watching these movies, because we got people dying in our city left and right, and it's like everybody just keep moving on with their life like it don't matter. Every time you turn on Murder Inc. page, is a new person shot and killed.
But you know what? What's so sad?
Mm-hmm.
These are little kids.
That's what I'm saying. Young kids,
yes,
dying.
like
16,
what do
17,
they even know about
15,
the streets?
18.
I'm just flabbergasted.
Well, right now, it's like, and I'm even gonna say right now, for years, and it seems like it's getting worse. All negativity has been promoted and pushed up to the top, like it's something that they want to be, like it's something that you want to do. Yes. It's like it's being celebrated.
Yes.
And I said this before, even kids that's not from the hood or never experienced the hood or grew up in the hood, it seems like they want to be hood. Yes. It seems like if you are a young black boy and you are in anywhere in the world, a lot of these boys don't feel like they black enough if they don't feel like they hood. It's this image that they feel like they got to portray to seem like you black, and we got to get rid of that, because this image that we are following so much, we don't understand we are in a trap, and our minds and our culture has been ripped from us, and the negativity is promoted to us on a high level. So we got our kids doing these things and getting stuck up in this stuff like that. And when it's like, when you got kids that's growing up only seeing negative images, only wanting to be negative, only promoting negativity, our kids' minds are like sponges. So that's the only thing they want to do. That's all they want to be. But we got to look at it on a bigger grand scheme of things than that. When you got 17 people dying within a 2 week span, that's more than one person a day.
Yeah.
And like you said, they young. They young getting shot, killed, and hurt out there.
And I'm just, and I don't want to be offensive to anybody who has lost their baby, because I just can't imagine how these parents are feeling losing their children. But it's like, what are these kids out here doing? Like, how are they getting caught up?
I'm telling you.
In this stuff? Like, what are you doing? Like, they have no idea what the street life is about.
And that's the problem. They have no idea about it. But the radio, our rap song, I love music, but our music has become so poisoned and watered down that only thing it's doing is turning our kids to the violence. And like I said, I'm a hip hop person. I used to rap when I was younger. I do poetry. I love music. I love hip hop. But the music now that's portrayed and that's pushed out here, it's almost 100%. It's a small percentage of the music that's positive. The people that these kids listening to, and then the positive music is being listened to by the older folks. The music that these kids are listening to nowadays is nothing positive about it. And it's like, even our women, I talk to our women all the time. Why is our women even promoting so much negativity? It's like when you listen to these, rap songs, they'll call a woman a B every other line, and the women dancing to it. They'll say, I just caught some head on the bus, or your girlfriend or your wife gave me head in the back of the plane. It's like, when do we have standards? And that's my thing. When do we hold anybody accountable? Because we can't keep on, what we're doing, in my personal opinion? We are actually slutting out ourselves. That's what I feel. I feel like we're slutting out ourselves. And when I say that, what I mean by that is we're taking our own downfall and the negative things about it, and we selling it. And we selling it at such a great value that it's damages and it's setting us back even more. So at some point in time, we're going to have to take ownership ourselves as people and be like, yo, we can do better than this. Because it's more content to talk about than every rhyme and line. I'm robbing you. I'm stabbing you. I'm sticking you up. And my thing is, we dying at a high rate. But who talking about that? Besides when you go to the meetings about the mothers and daughters who lost their sons and brothers. Besides, when you go to community events, who is really standing up talking about how many of our kids we losing to the street violence?
Did y'all see the top cop step in?
Oh, yeah.
He stepped down. Like, he's saying there's so much stuff going on in that police department. He would rather hold on to his dignity than to be a part of it. So who is talking about it? Who is acting on it? Who is doing? The mayor is putting goddamn scooters in the city. What can you? And they're all over the city.
So my thing
They're
is,
hiring for somebody to go find them and charge them and keep them together. I mean,
so all right.
what can be done?
When we talk about politics, one thing that we all have to understand is it don't matter who you put in office.
Right.
Nothing's going to change until we change the actual structure. It don't matter if you put a black, a white, or orange, or gray person in office. If we as people are not forcing changing the structure, everything is going to stay the same. They can bring in some different little trinkets and stuff like the scooters. But what are you doing to change the structure that's running the city or the state? So even when we go back to how they do the funding for Baltimore City schools, we can hoop and holler all we want until the state of Maryland itself changes the structure of how the money is given out to per school, per county and city, and that falls under Maryland. We're gonna keep being behind. You know why?
Is it Maryland? Or is
No,
it
it's
that
Maryland.
those
It's
school
no.
districts have their own thing?
No,
Because
people-
how do you get Montgomery
because-
County schools?
What
One of
people
the
don't-
richest counties.
What people don't understand is what happens a lot in our city is we have people that live in these counties, but they work in Baltimore. So if you work in Baltimore and you live in these counties, that money that you working, you taking it back to your county. You just coming in the city to work, which means your taxes and your property taxes is going out there. It's not even going where you work at. So when we have a large population of people who may be from the city, but they moving out of the city to move to these actual counties, they don't understand indirectly, we actually setting our communities back even further. So I know it's something hard to do because you want to get better and build better for your kids. That's why it's so hard. And I'm explain that. The reason why it's so hard for us to bounce back in a lot of areas is because when people that do get good jobs or make good money, the first thing they do, they from the hood, is actually leave.
Why? What do you think they're looking for?
They're looking for a better lifestyle.
Right, quality of life.
Exactly.
Because
I get that.
everybody is not going to let you have that.
They not. I get that. But at the same time, them leaving is indirectly hurting us. You know why? Because the more people we lose from the city, the more money the city loses. So when you work downtown, but you live out such and such county, you're not helping the people in the city. Your money is going to the county. Their whole structure is different. So when you say how we getting set back,
but these counties are allocating this money. I just
not always. We think that, and what I'm trying to say is these counties have more money than we have. If you look at how they do the pay scale, as far as the money that they give out, the counties are getting way more money than us. And even if you look at the numbers, the reason why people think the numbers and people are doing something wrong with it, if you are so far behind, all right, I'm gonna break it down like this. Say if you are positive 1,000 steps ahead of me, right? I'm negative 2,000 steps behind. She give us both 1,000 steps. You are now a positive 11,000 steps. I'm still negative, but now I'm negative 1,900. 1,900 steps. While she's positive, the gap gets greater because I'm so far behind. We living in a system that builds on. We fighting for the wrong thing. What I'm trying to say. We fighting for equality. We supposed to be fighting for equity. Equity means give the individuals what they need and not give everybody the same. Because if the state is giving her a check and me a check, but she is way more wealthier than me, only thing they doing is putting her ahead of me. So I'm still behind. So the little check that they giving is not helping me because I'm so far behind, and that's what we don't understand. Our people at certain parts of the city are so far behind. The way that the structure is in Baltimore City, especially with the schools, it will never catch up until they change the actual structure. And what I mean about that, they got to give these schools what they actually need. Even if they start at one school and build like that per year and start like a 5, 10, 20-year program, whereas those they focus on, not one, that's too small. Whereas though they focus on 3 to 5 main schools in the city, and they do that per year instead of divvying a little bit of money we got out to all these schools, we'll never catch up.
But then how do you decide which ones you're going to benefit, which neighborhoods you're going to benefit?
Then that'd be a vote for the people, but you can't get caught up on that.
So my whole thing with that is, even if you did 5 or 6 or whatever, you still have so many children who are missing out.
Right.
Because if you look at it, that's what's happening right now. Because over in Roland Park, which is the city, them children are getting an education that's out of this world in their public school.
Yeah.
You go right down the street, these kids are functioning so low, they might as well not even be in school. But in addition to the school, because schools aren't going to solve everything,
Right.
you have to clean up the neighborhoods that these children are coming from. These home lives of these children that are coming to these schools. So it's so many different dynamics that go into fixing what's wrong.
It
Stop putting those bikes in scooters. You're wasting fucking money because they're taking those scooters and they're putting them all over the city. You're wasting money.
I don't understand how it's set up anyway here because the city, the state makes less money, it seems like it. The people in the
Get out of here. Did you see that budget? He had so much money left over, we're getting 2 raises as state employees. I mean, he has a lot of money. There's so much money left over.
That's what I mean about the structure.
With the money? This is another reason why people need to get out and vote. This election is going to count.
It is. But that's another thing. Like,
Renee, how they gonna clean up the homes?
I get what they say. I get what you're saying, but I am a person that feels like until we as people understand we need to do better and clean ourselves up too, we can't keep screaming at the government. You can't, because you know why? No, listen. I'm trying to tell you. At some point, we have to be able to get strong enough individuals that we respect and we love and believe in, and our communities uplift each other. Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Right now, today, if the government came and gave, I want my people to get reparations. I want us to. But right now, if they came and gave us reparations, the way we think and where we are, they will get the money right back to the white man and woman because we don't have the proper mentality right now. So regardless of what check they drop in our lap, we got to change our mindset and our mentality because right now, if you go get these kids $100,000, that $100,000 is getting blown in a couple of months on jeans and shirts and not even Fortnite. Everybody gonna be Louis and Gucci and chains out.
Absolutely.
And that chain ain't gonna change your family lifestyle.
And let's go re-up. Let's go do a whole bunch of other stuff that's gonna be temporary. Hey, Auntie. I mean, it's just. I mean, we keep going. Tawanda is saying we want to help people that don't help themselves. Thank you, because that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. You know, this is my comment to you every time you say that. You cannot help people who don't want help.
So who will help them? So who are you advocating for then?
Those who want help.
Some people don't know they need help. You can't just look at people and say they don't want help. Because you know why? A person that goes to sleep in a community with a ton of abandoned buildings, a person that goes to sleep in a community that has stores liquor stores on every single corner. A person and a kid that goes to sleep and wake up in a community that is broken, devastated, and ripped apart. That is his or her norm. Him or her don't know they need help at the time. They don't know. You got to show them first that it's a better lifestyle out here for them to even know they need help. Okay. So we can't always say, how can you help somebody that don't know or don't want help? Some people don't know they need help.
Wesley, there's a whole bunch of people who know that there's something better out there.
Yeah,
they know, and
we're not talking about on 100 percentiles. It's a bunch of people that do know a lot of stuff.
Exactly, but we can go back and go over this over and over and over again. We talked about Section 8. We talked about welfare. We talked about the drug addicts. We talked about all of these things. These people have to want better for themselves. If you have social services,
you debating me, and I opened up with saying our people have to want better.
Right. It's not just our people, because you got poor people in all different categories.
See, I'm not advocating for poor people, though. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm not a poor white man. I don't know what it is to be a poor white man. I know what it is to be a black man living in Baltimore City, and you driving down the street and you get pulled over for just being black. I know what it is to be a black man driving down the street in a county in Maryland, and you get pulled over and they lie and say you got in the wrong lane. Sir, I've been in the same lane for 2 miles.
Made a good point. They are too comfortable with struggle. Yeah. Because
it's normal, they accepted it.
Exactly, but again, you just said out your own mouth, if no matter how many checks you drop in their lap, they're going to do the same thing.
Because they don't. What I'm saying is, before you give people money, you have to teach them what to do with the money. You can't just drop money on people and expect them to think they're going to do something positive with it.
Unless you're going to put pamphlets on all of their doors. They have to be interested enough to come out and hear what it is that you have to say.
Pamphlet ain't gonna get nobody.
Exactly. We can go to neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood and say, oh, look, we're going to have this free workshop where we're going to talk about all
and you're going to get some. You're going maybe a small percentage. But nobody can get everybody. Right. It's no 100 percentile in no category. And what I'm trying to say is, our people are doing the worst in America. Point blank, period. For that to change, we got to change our mindset. We got to change the way we think, what we promote, and how we live. For us to do that, we have to do that. Can't no white man or white woman come in our community and change our mindset, because we're not going to respect it. We're not going to hear one word come from it don't matter how intelligent he is. It don't matter how rich he is. Black people living in the hood don't want to hear a white man coming in that community saying, you doing bad, you can do better, this is the way. So we're going to look at them like they foolish. We need to teach ourselves.
What platform do you have to do that?
Phone line. Cut it up, we got to call it.
WMSK online radio is over by with me.
Is it Cousin Tony?
No. No, they hung up.
So what I'm basically trying to say is, if you don't know you got to do better, right. If you don't know how to do better, if you don't know you can do better, how can you do better? So I do community cleanups every Saturday with the Tendad family and No Leader Project. I talk to people every day out on the corner. And when I talk to these people on the corner, I have people always walking up to me, telling me, what made you do this? Are y'all getting paid? Are y'all getting a check? And when I tell them no, it's free, they be blown. And I tell them why we do it. So one of the reasons why is because for our communities to get better, as people, we got to keep our own communities clean. Because right now, just as small as that, I tell them all the time, if you walk and go to a Jewish community, right now, if we go to Wrightstown Road or Park Heights, it's a line that's an invisible line on Wrightstown Road and Park Heights. At the top of Park Heights and Wrightstown Road is Jewish community.
It's very distinct. It's called Northern Parkway.
Right. Behold, you don't see no trash. Up and down the Jewish community. You don't see no trash in their gutters. You don't see no trash on their grass. You don't see no trash up and down that street. Soon as you get past that invisible line, you see massive piles of trash on the black community. And my thing is, what we gonna say? Oh, the white man ain't come down here, or the government ain't come clean this. No, just that right there, we can change that.
The equality of
so you're not listening to what I'm saying. They don't know. I'm telling you, they don't.
I own a house
you know,
on Hayward Avenue.
Everything that you know is not what they know.
I own a house on Hayward Avenue. I lived there for several years. I have the best house on the block.
Everybody
they do not care. They do not care.
That's also, so you don't think what we have been put through year after year has taken the care out of people? Yes.
No.
See, that's wrong. No. Because what made you stronger could have made somebody else weaker.
I'm not agreeing.
You don't have it. I'm not.
So what are you saying?
So when you go out and you clean up, when do you clean up? Every week.
First, we started on North and Bel-Air Road on the corner where all the people be nodding off by the meth clinic at. We started up there. Now we on North and Greenmount. Every Saturday from 9 to 11, we out there. And my point is, people be seeing it. And now when people see it, you got other people starting to clean up and do stuff. And like, oh man, let us help. They expect us to come out there now. It's so much heartbreak and heartache and disappointment that people don't know they can. When you've been living in a community and everything is broken and falling apart since you've been born, where do you feel like you're going to do well at? And I'm telling you, like, that's just like saying, if one kid at school getting bullied and another kid at school getting bullied, they're going to act the same way. They're not going to act the same way. And what you kind of saying right now is because how it affected you. Everybody not affected like that because one little boy might come to school and want to fight every day because he getting bullied. Another little boy might go in the corner and become a self-mutilator and cut himself and become silent. What people go through affects them different. People ask me all the time, Wesley, how did you change? We grew up the same way, yo. I'm still fucked up out here. How you get where you at? We went through the same shit. He don't have the same mental strength and understanding that I made out of my shit.
What platform do you have to help him understand?
What you mean?
What platform do you have to make a change in the masses? Because that's what you're saying. Change your whole neighborhood.
If I had the resources, I don't have it.
Okay, we have a call.
My bad.
Hello? Hello?
Cam.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
We had a call.
I agree with him. I say it all the time. People don't know. People that live in the same environment, all they know is what they know in their 8-block radius. Nobody ever introduces them to anything that happens. They have a hard time trusting things that they don't know. And I used to work for social services, and I would say, don't let me get me on. But then when I tell them where I'm from, then I'm getting stared at. They think I'm going to take their keys. They don't believe in service orientation. You try to give them services, and they still not trusting, but they're taking what they can get and not really learning. You can give a person a fish, and they don't want to, or give them a string to teach them how to fish, and they don't really want to fish. They just want you to get out their face.
I mean, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. However, we can't always just pass it up to ignorance because you're not going to tell me that you don't know that when you go across Northern Parkway, the Jewish people are living well. You can see it with your own eyes.
They was raised different. Their culture is different. We don't have that being promoted. And what I'm trying to say, no. I'm not saying no. Actually, we don't. In America, black people were stripped. Everything was stripped from us. Our culture was stripped from us. Literally. We damn near don't connect to the black people in Africa. We call them African booty scratchers. A black person that's, these kids, I'm in the schools all the time. These kids don't even want to be as dark as they are. I got kids that I'm dealing with that don't like being dark skinned. Like think about how that's heavily affected with these kids. I'm telling you, our culture, who we are as people has been stripped from us. The only thing they connect to what culture is and black people is the urban hip hop movement. They don't. What real culture do we have? So they got a Chinatown. They got like Jewish towns. They got Asian. They got all type of little towns. You tell me what state or city you can really go to and you see a good representation of the black culture. We don't even know who we are. Oh my God.
So you had
Black people got culture in America.
You had no.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I disagree with that, but I'm saying you have little pockets of people, black people, who have a good quality of life. People who care about their neighborhoods. People who care about their children. People who are investing in their livelihoods and all that other kind of stuff. Thank you, Tara, for calling. So there are people who are doing what they need to do. But you cannot. But this is what I'm saying. You cannot take people because, like I said, I have a house right on Hayward Avenue.
All right, you can't take people in New York.
Hayward is in the middle of Park Heights.
You can't take people in New York.
Listen, I took my little black kids out of there because I could not stand to see my black children going to these schools. They couldn't even go outside. They did not have a quality of life. I had no choice but to take my children and put them in a better environment for them. We always getting so caught up on, black people only do this. We can't do that because white people do that. I take my kids camping every year. Don't tell me that my kids can't do that.
But that's not what I argue.
But he's not talking about you.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is,
listen.
You're arguing something different.
But you know better, so you did better.
Right, but we cannot keep making excuses for these people.
What I'm saying, so you saying let the government come save us?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the government is going to give you the little bit of services that they're going to give you, but you yourself have to want to do better.
That's what I opened up with though, right? I said as people, we got to do better for us.
Individuals or all black people?
Huh?
Individuals or all black people?
You want all black people to do well.
All of us not going to do better. It's not even going to happen. You have to want to do better. Again, what platform do you have that you're going to take the whole 21205, bring them together and say, listen, if you don't know, I'm here to tell you.
I don't have the resources right now. If I did, I would be trying to do more. I don't have that type of platform.
Tell me the resources that you think you're going to need. Because guess what? Right there
so in my opinion, if I can have it, I would have a school that was ran like a holistic school, not just teaching you about the bookwork. We need a school where the mother can come, because a lot of these mothers can't even read the daggone homework that the sons and daughters are bringing home. So when we want to talk about these kids not doing their homework or not knowing homework, they taking it home to a mother that can't barely read it or do it her damn self. So what I would teach in my school, if I had the resources, I would have a program where the mother and the father or the grandmother who's ever raising a child, they can come and learn too and be taught too. We are having communities where people are raising ignorance. You have a grandmother that's ignorant, a mother that's ignorant, and a daughter that's ignorant. So when you have 3 generations of ignorance being passed on to all these little babies, how do you think we're going to do better?
So do you think putting them all in one building, because I have to show you my business plan. Do you think putting it all in one building is going to make a difference? They have so many free GED programs. I'm telling you, I am a teacher.
Who is telling them about this?
What? Are you crazy?
Who?
Listen, Baltimore City Community College. You can go there.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
No, you're not listening.
I never said it's not out there. I'm not saying what you teach.
They got commercials. They got all kinds of stuff. They got flyers. They got so much stuff. I mean, the best secrets you hide in the book, and black people will not fucking find it.
You have to have somebody that's going to get it on.
You have to stop making excuses.
It's not
They got the shit on buses as they go by. They got billboards. They got flyers. They got TV commercials. I do not have a contract right now at Baltimore City Community College because we cannot keep enough enrollment in there. At social services, they force them to be in activities. We still can't keep it fucking filled up enough to have classes going on and on and on and on. So don't say that they
because
don't
when you
know.
have it hurt so much,
Wesley,
what makes you believe something?
Wesley, unless you want to go put them in your car and bring them there and give them a stipend, they are not fucking coming. They're not coming.
That's not everybody.
Listen.
That's not everybody. Because I lived it. Just like you lived it.
Wesley,
I lived it. Where I lived at, I ain't know about the motherfucking GED program. Else kids wasn't going to school. That's why I couldn't read, write, or count when I was little.
The rest of the world out. They just blind. You might
they don't be just blind. These
Come
kids
on,
don't see
all
this
the
shit every
billboards
day.
and stuff.
Ain't no billboards on no West North Avenue. Ain't no billboards on Poplar Grove and Dukeland. Ain't no billboards up Park Heights. You know what's up there? You know what's on Bel Air Road and Urban? A big ass white light telling you get off the block. Ain't no billboard down there saying go to school. We don't help you. You keep calling me.
BTC is right there on Liberty Heights. You can see the fucking school. You don't need no billboard. The whole school over there.
They can't read. Under 13% of our kids can read on that grade level.
Wesley, we're not talking about those kids. We're talking about some grown-ass kids out.
They can't read either.
They can read
No, they can't. They can see a sign.
MCM.
They can see a sign. They can't read the shit. They can see a sign. These kids are graduating from Baltimore City public schools reading under a third grade reading level. I'm telling you it's facts. They graduating these kids and these kids can't even read.
I don't refute that, but that's not what I'm talking about.
So how don't that tie into it? How can a kid go to college if he can't even read his fucking middle school work?
I'm talking about the kids who rather stand on the corner so that they can get these logos that they can read, the MCMs, the Louis Vuittons, and all.
Again, because that's what they think is cool. Because in our community.
Okay, so again, you can't pass up their ignorance. If that's what they choose, that's what they choose.
That's what's been
Don't say that they're not
taught.
out. Come on. They
I
still
remember one
have
day.
choices to make.
I remember one conversation we had in here before, and I said our kids need to dress more like laid back and calmer. You was even like, our kids ain't about to wear no Walmart shit. They want a neighbor. You know why? Because what's taught in our community that you don't have to have money in your bank account, but you better go spend everything to get this Louis belt, this Gucci belt, these Jordans. That's what's in our community. If you have a kid that grows up and that's the only thing he knows, or his mother teaches him, or his father teaches him, what else do you expect him to say or be if that's the only thing he's been taught? That's all. Some of these kids are taught from the jump how to smoke weed. Some kids are taught from the jump how to sell crack. No, I don't need no water. I'm on here because we need to understand what's taught. I'm gonna tell y'all the real. Cause y'all playing.
I gotta drink some water.
Oh, hold up. Let's get to your comments.
What comments?
Okay. So Tiberi is saying we all need to pull together and stop talking down to others. Tawanda is saying we have to stop with the excuses. Accountability and responsibility is on us. Renee is saying, I used to work with the city of New York. If you have a parent that's gangbanging, most times there's no hope for the child. I've been in a situation myself with my own daughter. It's the culture.
The fucking culture. I know what's going on.
It's the culture most of our people are lost. They take it as a way of life. Some teachers who teach our children are not qualified mentally to teach our children. Yes, some need to be taught how to spend their money. It's a culture, not unless a person sees something different and want to make a change in their lives. Tina is saying they have to want it for themselves first.
So Tina, pause. I'm gonna address Tina real quick. I hope you still on here, Tina. Let me tell you something, Tina. Because everybody keeps saying, y'all keep saying that. Tina, I grew up with 2 drug addict parents. My mother was always on crack cocaine from the time that I was born to the time it took her life. I've never seen nothing else. When I was sitting on the porch, I was 5 years old getting crack valves stuffed in my pamper. That's the only thing I was taught. My father never was there. He was in the street getting high. I lived in an abandoned house. I've been homeless. I was a foster child. That's all I knew growing up. So you telling me to know and want better, and only thing I see is my mother getting high and selling her body, and I'm living in an abandoned house. How in the hell do I know better? Secondly, she never sent me or my other siblings to school. We never went to school.
The system failed.
We never went to school. No, they came and she lost her kids to foster kids. That's how I became foster kid, because the system knocked on the door and we would hide as kids and I would run away. They didn't fail. They tried to do their job. But where I grew up at, if you see people that ain't from around there, you getting up out of there, or people making calls and telling you, hey, no, the people at your front door. The system ain't failed us. They came knocking on the door. The school sent people to knock on the door. No wasn't worried about sending her kids to school. No was worried about her next fix. We had to steal from the store. I was the oldest. I had to steal from the store to feed my siblings. So I want to know, everybody who keeps saying you got to know or want to do better first, how the hell am I know or want to do better when the only thing I'm taught is I live in an abandoned house. I'm living in a house with no running water. It's rats in my house, and we got holes in the floor. I've never seen a prettier community at that point in time in my life. What happened was, when I got put in foster care, I was placed in other environments, and the shit was called a culture shell shock to me. My mind was blown. You know why? Because I was taken from the urban community where I struggled at with my mother, and I was put with another family that showed me something different, and then I wanted better. So how you gonna tell these kids that they supposed to want better and do better if they've never seen it? So I want her to respond to me and tell me what I'm supposed to do as a child to know to do better if I've never seen it, if foster care never came and got me. That's my question. So anybody who ever say that again, I want you to tell me how was I supposed to know to be better or do better as a child when I've never ever seen it until them people took me from my mother.
So
These kids
accountability.
Accountability.
If foster care never came, who else was accountable for y'all as children?
No, but my mother.
Just your mother.
My mother.
So grandparents aren't accountable.
They weren't there.
No.
Family's not like that. In the hood, families are broken up, and then a lot of them are struggling too.
You got whole families living in the same block in Latrobe.
And they all struggling. You just made a point.
They struggling because they want to be there most of the time.
Oh my God, bro. Nobody just want to be like that. That's all they know.
And sometimes it's just a fear. Like I remember it was one young girl. She was dietary. She was one of the contractual dietary people. I said, why don't you become a correctional officer? I don't want to lose my food stamps. It's a fear. Some people just it's scared. It's a comfort level.
It's more than a comfort level. It's something that has been drilled.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's something that has been drilled in these people for years. It's not just that people just waking up wanting to be. It's been drilled. You said what?
So everybody don't have the same opportunity.
Hell no. If you think you live in America and everybody has the same opportunity, we need to sit down over some drinks or dinner or some tea or something and really talk. If you think in America we have the same opportunity as everybody else, we need to sit down. Hell no, we don't have the same opportunity. That's why certain things, and such as red line. Now I'm open up. Yeah. So in Baltimore, we had the bank called Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo was strategically singling out families. No matter how good your credit was, it was giving these people bad loans. Look it up. Don't just listen to West Fargo. No. Hold on. But I'm talking about Wells Fargo right now. Wells Fargo ruined multiple people's lives. Y'all want to know why we got so many of these abandoned houses? A lot of them was due to bad loans and due to redlining. You couldn't move in certain communities to get these loans. And then they gave you the loans that bubbled over time. It was strategic plan that they went after certain families. Like, come on. You going to say we got the same... man, you keep calling me.
I'm talking about black people.
Oh, we getting attacked. We're getting attacked. I've been telling you this for a minute.
Wesley, listen.
You don't want to hear it.
Listen, I'm listening to you. I was one of those people who bought a fucking house in Park Heights, and that happened with a Bank of America loan to me. That's why that house is still sitting over there right now. They don't want to foreclose. I still own the house. I haven't lived in it in over 5 years. So you're saying it as if I'm not.
That's not what I'm
I
saying.
don't know
I'm saying your response is
So-
me. It's like everybody should respond how you respond because you made it out. I can't feel like everybody that grew up with me should be like Wesley or think like Wesley or live like Wesley because I made it how I am. Some people never even going. I can't think like that. I'm different, and you are too. So you can't look at other people and be like, "Shit, I made it out of this." So y'all tripping.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is this. You have to want help in order for my help to help.
You don't know you need help. I just explained to you. So since you have the one help, before I was taken from my mother, Neeuq, I want you to address it. Where was I supposed to get that from?
But as the child, you were supposed to get it from your mother.
My mother was strung out on drugs and she didn't get it herself as a child.
Exactly.
You know how many of these kids in the urban community, mothers and fathers on dope?
You're learning from your survival skills.
That's what I'm telling you.
So this is what I'm saying. As a child, your parent is the person who's responsible for teaching you all the things that it is that you need to know. Sometimes when you don't have those influences, you have to learn how you get it. But again, there may be a circumstance that comes along and that helps you see that there's something different, that there's something better. Maybe you go to school and somebody at school that you meet, like, oh, you know, whatever.
Matter of fact, all right, cool. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to use a different scenario. In a country, I want you to answer this. In a country, listen, in a country that is primarily Islamic, that don't know anything about another religion, they don't hear, speak, or know Christianity. The kids that come out of their mother vagina, out of the womb, soon as they born. Or kids that grow up in America that don't know anything about Islam and they only know Christianity. And your grandmother, your mother, your aunts, or your father, and everybody is teaching you and putting into you Islam is what you should be. 9 times out of 10, what those kids gonna be?
You saying here in America?
No, in any
They're
country.
going to be Islamic.
That's my point. You know why? Because that was drilled in them since they came out of the womb.
Until they grow up and they can make their own decisions.
So right now, what I'm saying is these kids are so far behind as kids. By the time they turn to adults, they so fucking far behind that most of them give up. If you are 28 years old and you cannot read, you too ashamed and embarrassed to even try to read. Only thing you want to do is sell your dope or your weed or your pills at that point because you like, yo, I can't even read the application.
And how are you going to give him a different type of lifestyle that he'll be willing to give up all of that and he feels hopeless and he can't learn anymore?
You got to teach him. Somebody special got to teach him.
So what you going to go stand out on the corner?
No, you got to be able to teach him. And the problem is, our community, I'm trying to tell you.
You saying put them all in one building with a school for their kids and a school for them. They have to come to the school.
You have to go out and reach them. You can't just build something and expect people to come. That's not how it works. Do you want to know how
you're going to outreach?
And that's what helps. That's what you sound hopeless sitting over there. You making it sound like ain't nothing gonna help us. We can't have that. You too strong to say that. We need you to be strong.
I need people who are going to be willing to take my help.
That's not what you need. That's not what you need.
You have to be teachable. You have to be coachable. You have to want it all.
It's not true.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get to your real after the rest of these comments. So the Jewish community have consistency and have a deeply rooted connection on all levels. They police their own communities and invested in one another.
They told us kids to do that.
Mama Rolette is saying there's too much knowledge around to keep making excuses. At this point, if If it's not there, you haven't created it. Telling yourself the story does not help. We can teach our own. Tara is saying children are raising children.
Mm-hmm.
Derek is saying people nowadays knows what's right. They just don't care. Tawanda is saying it's free trainings out here. People have to want to do better. Ms. Rolette is saying again, start small, teach a class, teach 5 children. What is the father teaching? It's not just the women. He is forever blaming women.
I don't blame
Tiberia is saying, but they don't want it. Case in point, he can't be taught. Tara is saying you have to meet people where they are. Ms. Jean is saying times have changed. Hey, Kelly. Derek is saying it's the culture that feeds to them that there are no more black heroes for our children to look up to, only fake-ass pill-popping rappers.
I like that comment.
Renee is saying it's a culture that, is passed down from generation to generation until someone wants to make a change. We were bused out into the white neighborhood going to school back in the very early 60s. Excuse me. I tell my grandchildren all the time I had a better education than they did. They are taking a lot of education out of the school. Why? Tawanda saying the parents know their kids can't read, so it's just as much as their fault.
The parent can't read.
But even it was a whole lot of illiterate parents who still sent their children to learn. Poor parents in the 60s, they couldn't read, but they took their little black kids off to learn something. So again, we can't give bad parents an excuse and an out. When you have children, when you open your legs, you get fucked, or you plant seeds, it's your responsibility to do what you got to do for them kids. That's your responsibility. Once you fail them children, who else is going to do it?
They were failed. Them damn selves.
Wesley. So no, past adorations actually
about.
better. I want it better.
Don't question me. Them people would fail their damn self.
Miss Young is saying, read everybody. Thank you, Miss Young.
I'm breathing.
So Derek said generations acted better and wanted better. Devanya is replying to Derek saying it was what they were taught. Hey,
that's all it's about, yo. It's what they were taught.
Okay, but if
a person don't know something, how can you teach them? These other communities of people that we bringing up, they are taught this from birth. I promise you, when they come out the womb, they are taught this from birth. They are taught about businesses. They are taught about financial literacy. They are taught about SAT scores. They are taught about college. They are taught about buying homes. They are taught about this stuff. I'm out here. They taught this shit. We don't know that. We don't know it. And you just expect somebody to know something because you saying, oh, you're supposed to just automatically wake up one day and say, I want to do something. No, that ain't how it works.
That's not what I said.
These people are taught that.
Things, even when you go to social services, they tell you about all of the options that you have. So as a parent, you're learning it there. Whether or not you want to choose, Wesley, people looking at you, the camera is on you.
I don't care. She keep on talking about some fucking social service. Social service ain't going to address what these people need addressed.
Wesley, what's the platform? What platform?
We need to build our own. We need to build our own. We can't get it from social service.
Build your own. Okay, so if there was a grant and you could take the whole Green Mount corridor, the whole, because there's an invisible line there too. It's called Neeuq Road. Once it starts to switch over, that's it. And guess what? Doorbin Park.
What she not addressing is, first of all, for years and generations, we have been systematically oppressed. Everything has been stripped from us, from the way that they teach us, from how we live, from we had to fight for Social Security, from everything. So when you grow up in a system that has stripped everything from you, and you don't know nothing about the originality of things. These black kids don't even know why we so far behind. They feel like we should be like this. They taking slavery out of schools because they don't want your kid to know that slavery even exists. So when you say they taking stuff out of the curriculum, do your own research and read. Stop just saying stuff because I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everybody who's coming. Stop just saying blurting out this, blurting out that. Go look this stuff up. They taking slavery out of the curriculum of schools because they don't even want these black men and women and kids to know they was once slaves. If you don't understand what slavery has done to us for tons and tons of years and given us PTSD, and then once we got free, we didn't get Social Security. This shit, we had to fight for it. We wasn't treated like humans. And then, first of all, and then redlining destroyed us. And then how they do the testing for how you get in schools. Let me ask you a question. Deep question for everybody who's paying attention. If they giving you about any urban city school education that is not teaching you about an SAT or ACT, and then you go to a good community where it's clean and the schools are better, and these kids learn about SATs and ACTs from elementary to middle through high school, why do you think they out testing our damn kids every single year? They are prepared for it since they was young. Our kids had no chance to even get into a good top college in America. We got a small percentage of black kids, and you know what? We applaud them on the news and say this one little black little boy, one little black little girl got accepted into this program. You know why? Because they beat the damn odds. Not because there's a whole bunch of stuff out here for us to beat the odds. It's because we have been systematically set back, and we're sitting around saying, oh no, you just should want to do better. Yo, we've been broken down for 400 years. Y'all tripping. We've been broken down for 400 years. If we're going to talk about this, we're going to have to talk about the real. We're going to talk about how many of these white families got more money and land than us because they got more privilege to loans. They got houses that they bought. They buy the houses and the fucking equity go up. As soon as they get them in a certain community, and then they got 100,000 or more in equity. Then you give us and the houses. People don't even understand what redlining did to us. Like we gotta really talk about this stuff.
So many other things other than redlining.
I'm just talking about redlining. The only thing you want to do is keep on debating what I'm saying, and I'm saying we've been fucking stripped and ripped down for hundreds of years. People not just going to know. People not just going to want to know how to do better.
First of all,
you gotta be taught.
You live in a capitalistic society. That's what America is. You're going to have the haves and you're going to have the have-nots. It just happens to be that most of the have-nots are black.
It just happened to be right. It just so happened to be. It wasn't put in place. It was just so happened. It's magically so happened.
No, it's not magically. But there are other poor people. So let's not.
Who are we talking about? I'm not talking about other poor people.
Poor is poor. You keep trying to cut it on a color line. That is not realistic.
That is realistic.
No, it's
it
not.
Is.
No,
That's
it's
the problem.
not.
You keep on every time we talk about a topic, you want to say, oh no, you got to bring everybody in. They're not fighting for everybody.
Guess what? Go to Fort Washington. What color are most of those people that's living out there living well? They're fucking black. You have to have people who want better for themselves.
You have a small percentage, y'all. You have a small percentage. You're talking about a small ass percentage of black people who doing good in America.
Wesley, just because.
Can you pull up your phone? You got your phone. How many black people doing good in America compared to us? Matter of fact, look up how much is the wealth. The wealth gap between a black family and a white family is so fucking large. The wealth gap is they have $140,000 more than us, an average family. You know what they say average black family having? A wealthy black family, $11,000. You talking about a small percentage? Oh my God, you're killing me right now. We are getting wiped out. We're getting wiped out.
Because of our own choices.
No, we've been systematically wiped out.
If you listen, systematically, guess what? Everybody who's getting stuck, most of them have choices. Most of them have choices.
Right. In America, you're right.
Children,
black people got the same shit white people got in America. You're right.
White
people wouldn't even say that shit. They just had a show. Aisha, they just had a show with a doctor. I'm going to pull the video up the next time we had a show. A doctor and a whole audience filled with white people. And she said, if you would like to change positions with black people in America right now, stand up. Not one damn white person stood up in that gymnasium.
Wait, Chris Rock said that in his speech. She said, and I'm rich. And nobody still would want to trade things.
Come on. She's
Wait,
speaking
wait,
right
I am
now.
not saying.
It says, wait, here are some of the statistics, and this is from Forbes. They said, according to the New York Times, for every $100 in white family wealth, black family hold just $5.04.
Talk about
Okay.
it. You can't talk to me.
I am not in disagreement that white people have more privilege. I am not in disagreement that there has been systematic things. But guess what? What I am not agreeing with you is this. You are not going to save all these fucking people out here who don't want help. There's no platform that you're going to come up on that you're going to get all of them to buy into that bullshit. They're not going to do it. They have to want help. That is what I'm saying.
You can't want help if you don't know you need it.
Listen.
No.
It's not happening.
No.
If you want to be out here, you having children, you out here, you getting high, hopefully the system does come along and fucking save them. Hopefully one of your family members has sense to come along and save your children.
God said you don't choose to have crack in your stream and your system when you were born. How you know that? You born to that. You born to that shit.
Again, it's not the crack baby who's making any fucking choices. They children.
Exactly. And children are having children.
Come on. Oh my goodness.
Children are, hey, what the they 16 having kids.
Wesley, I was a fucking teen mom.
There you go. There we go. I told you. You use it because you made it out. You put that on everybody else. You can't do that, Neeuq.
Wesley,
You
I'm
can't.
not putting on nobody. What
You
I'm
just
saying
said it. You said you was a
have
teen
to
mom.
want help.
No, you can't do that.
Guess
You can't
what?
do that.
I also grew up in the hood. I
Can't do
also was
that.
sexually abused when I was young. I was raped when I was young.
And you
I was
are
a domestic
you are
violence
different.
victim.
You gotta understand you like a
I
rose.
wanted different.
No,
I
you're a rose.
wanted
You don't even
different.
understand your roles, bro. You're a
I
rose.
wanted
You
different.
can't put that on all these people. Everybody don't have the same mental capacity.
Guess what? I could have been strung out. I could have
And
been
you strong, yo. And you love, I love you for that because you strong. And you gotta know how strong you are. You can't use that and say everybody should be able to make it because you did. That's not life.
And you can't say that they can't make it just because the white people, just because they don't have the same opportunity and privilege. Everybody can't be rich, but guess what? Everybody don't need to be rich.
Who talking about being rich?
You don't need to be rich.
I ain't talking about being rich.
Okay, so Derek is saying.
Y'all know y'all agreed to disagree. Y'all were saying the same things. Y'all were saying the same things.
She just wanna, I don't know why she got me riled up like this. God damn.
I missed you. So Tabria is saying when she moved to VA, I was shocked and learned a different way of life. Renee is saying exactly, Wesley, you got culture shock. Derek is saying it's out of fear, just like people are afraid to move. People don't like change, especially when the devil they know versus the devil they don't. Everybody has the opportunity, however, they don't know it. That's what Renee is saying. The one is saying that's happening again. People are now getting loans that they'll never be able to pay. Absolutely. So, and let's not even pretend that white people did not get hit with that market. Look at your.
I'm not saying they didn't get hit. It was easier for them to bounce back, though. Like, y'all are tripping right now. If you don't understand, we live in America where white privilege is a big thing. White privilege is real. White privilege is like, come on, like, yo.
Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't
So,
know that?
for anybody saying everybody has the same opportunity, they are tripping. They only let a small percentage of people make it so far.
Okay, so listen. Okay, so Renee is saying he's right. That did happen, and it's still happening. Ms. Young is saying you have to be able to know how to connect with people individually. Individually, again, and it's going to be their individual choices. You're not going to connect with the mass of people, the whole green mount that you go clean up. You're not going to make them stop using drugs. You're not going to make them take care of their kids any better. You're not going.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I'm telling you one thing. Can't nobody change nothing for 100%. Nobody. Jesus didn't. If you believe in Jesus and God, Jesus didn't come down and get and convert the whole damn 100%. Nobody can get 100% of people to change. Nobody. So when you say you're not going to convert everybody, that is true. You can't convert everybody, but you can go down and put the effort and put the work in, and you can change it. I have kids that I've changed since I've been doing what I'm doing. It's a young girl that I've been trying to get her to speak up, but she won't because she don't like being out in the light. When I went and got her out of the situation she was in, she was fucked up. She was going through a lot. Her mother was selling her for money to get high. This little girl is an RN now and just graduated from college. I got kids that I done sent to college. Just because I don't put their face and information online because of their privacy don't mean it's impossible. I got kids that I send to college every single year, and I get them from Greenmount. I get them from North Avenue. I get them from Park Heights. Y'all not telling me these kids can't change. I'm fucking from it. I don't care who don't know what I'm from. If I can change and be the man that I am today, coming from a mother that got high. Elijah is 6 years old. Both his parents were strung out on drugs. Both of them died from drugs. I raised him every day. If he didn't have me, he wouldn't have nobody. You know why? Because my other fucking brothers and sisters ain't doing shit. You can't tell me you can't change, bro.
And I'm not saying that they can't change, but I'm saying that it's not the kids who's making the choices. They have to have somebody that comes along if their parents fail to do it. That's what I'm saying. So when those children get old enough, if that's all they know, they learn from other things. They learn from seeing their friends get shot down. They learn from people who they come in contact with. They learn from the people who come into their neighborhoods to clean up. But they still have to want to make the choice to change. You can't force them to do
it. It don't happen overnight. It don't happen overnight. You ain't just going to go to no kid right now who grew up in the hood and that's all they know, and you're going to talk to them or show them some fucking flyer one day or 1 week and think it's going to change. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take you being there when they get in trouble. It's going to take you being there when they fight. It's going to take you being there when they get suspended for them to realize, like, yo, he or she really loves me. They really care, and you didn't give up on me. When my family came and got me out of foster care and I was taken from my mother, I fought in elementary school every day. I was an angry child. I was fucking angry. I was angry. Literally. If I can get my aunt and them to come on this radio station and speak the truth, yo, I'm so thankful that they didn't give up on me. You know why? I had a fucking attitude problem. I was angry. And the people who knew and seen me and went to high school with me, they ain't really know shit about me because I ain't tell nobody. I pulled up in the IS 300 Lexus in school because I was selling dope. Because that's what I knew. My mother told me that. My grandmother ain't buy me that car. My aunts and them ain't buy me nothing. I was fly because I was doing me. That shit was taught to me. That's my only point. So my point is, until these kids get somebody to come. And this fucking flyer right here, look, this table been filled with flyers. I done barely read any of them and I can read. So you think you will put a flyer on somebody's door and that's going to tell them go join the school? Hell no.
We're talking about two different groups of people. We're talking about the kids or we're talking about the adults?
The adults
cannot
read. They can't read is what I'm trying to tell you.
You're saying you're trying to change the mentality of the whole black culture. That's the whole black, that's everybody, right? It's so many different dynamics that's going to go into that. When you're talking about saving kids, that's one thing. You trying to save their parents too and all this other kind of stuff.
You have to. You know why? Because a lot of the times, the reason why a lot of these, and again, I don't go by 100%. I don't do that. The reason why a lot of these systems fail, this is why. Because Lord John or Mike, he comes to the program. He in the program for a couple hours, right? After the program, where he going back to? He going back to the same reality that he living every day. So to him, that shit is reinforced with his mother, right? So you gotta be able. That's why when some of these meetings and the things that I go to and I'm part of, people behind closed doors that really care, they trying to think about a systematic approach now. They trying to think about it in a holistic way. How can you help the father and the mother and the big brother at the same time as you trying to help the son? Sometimes it's bigger than just grabbing the little boy. You got to be able to try to help the mother too, because if the little boy can't read, and you send a little boy home with homework, and his mother can't read, she gonna tell him to get that shit out of here, or she gonna just send him away and put him in front of a TV because she's embarrassed to tell her son she can't read. Like, yo, I'm telling you, like, man.
So, Derek is saying people make their own choices. Perfect example. Me and Keisha grew up from the same neighborhood, went to the same schools, grew up in the same church, but I don't believe in God and I'm not a Christian or any religion. Siberia is saying they need a mentor and someone to show them love and respect. Hey Hutch, welcome back from Vegas. You better have my keychain. So Derek is also saying why people do teach the children are all about these things and Black people just aren't in the habit of having it themselves to teach the children. He's saying the whole system and all the benefits was that designed for Black people. We have to make our own. Woe was saying, I agree, it's there, but it don't help. They don't want us to know what we are entitled to. And I agree with him. The schools tell cursive writing is not important to teach.
Right.
Ms. Rolas saying, okay, Wesley, you're right. All of that happened, so now what? Lisa Lewis, should parents share in their teaching? I learned nothing from school, all my parents. Derek is saying, preach it, brother. Woe is saying, and it also starts at home. Also, as far as teaching what they don't teach your child, show your child how to look further. And that is also true. We have to want to do better. It's just harder for us to get. We will reach the goal. Renee is saying we were very fortunate to have parents who were knowledgeable. Although my father did not finish high school, he received his GED later in life. They were involved in the civil rights. I learned through working. The one is saying is both the system and we as the people. We'll agree with her. It's the system and us. And the one is saying, I'm gonna bring some hot tea with honey and lemon to the studio. Voices are going to be lost after this.
Please, God, man, my voice. Oh, every time I leave here, my voice gone. Y'all always got to bring this out of me because it's so much. You right, you too. It's so much that we don't look at and we overlook. Like even when the crack epidemic started, we got to look at how they created the laws about the crack and the cocaine. You got to look at how they changed it up. Oh, if you got this little small rock of crack, you getting all these years in jail. But this white coke, which is the same shit, but just cooked up, they giving them slap on their wrist. That destroyed so many hundreds of thousands of our family. You know why? Because the crack cocaine was shoved in our community. So while we going to jail for at the hundreds of thousands of our men and women going to jail for, they using it too. But they using a different form of it because the powder form to them was more like a richer version of it. So if you got the richer, cleaner version of it, you think you're on a higher level and they got more money, so they not sending them to jail at a high level because now they got a different texture and form of it. But in all reality, it's the same shit. Yo, it's so much that we can talk about and discuss how we have been entrapped, that our people in the hood got high, the white people got high too, but they made us a law that affected us at a high value. Go look at how many families were broken up and their kids lost their fathers due to the system. Go look at how many families were broken up and their kids lost their mothers due to the system or the prison system or even overdosing and all of this shit. Like, yo, it's so much that we got to discuss of why our families are behind. We can't just be like, you got to want to do better. Like, come on, you can't. I'm telling you, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's more than that. And I'm going to use this as, I said this before, but this is just prime example. If we take a litter, if somebody out there got a litter of puppies, and I take a puppy, and you take a puppy, and at my house, I keep my dog in the dark, I kick his cage, I don't feed him. Every time I see him, I'm whipping his ass and I'm kicking him, I'm abusing him. I don't take him for walks. My dog is going to be one or two things. He's going to either be a whippy dog that as soon as you come in the room, he crying, or he's going to be the dog that attacks. If you got your dog, you walking, you feeding, you patting it, you treating it well. He's sleeping in your room. He meeting the kids. He not in the dark. It's nature versus nurture. The way you have nurtured that dog is going to be a major outcome of why that dog can be petted and raised around your kids. versus my fucking dog that I whipped his ass since the day I got him from his mother's litter. I kicked his ass and now he crying and whining. Oh, he's ready to attack. Point blank period. That's what we going through. The nurture that we have not received, the bad treatment that our people receive on a high level is one of the main reasons why we are so damaged and angry. They did so much stuff to take the man out of the family. They don't even man. I can go into so much deep understandings and ways that they tricked us to get the woman to think, oh, I don't need a man. I got this on my own. Not knowing, I'm telling you, these Jewish women and these white women, they're not walking around talking about, oh, I don't need no man. I got this. Our black sisters walking around, I got my own bitch. I'm this. I don't need no man. I'm a boss bitch. You know what? They tricked us with that. Y'all don't even get it. They took our men from us and they tricked us with that. This shit is so deep. But we talking about, you supposed to know how to do better. You got all these sisters walking around talking about boss B, boss dad, and they making the woman feel like she should be more powerful. I will never discredit or take anything from a woman, especially not a black woman. But what I will tell you is they have destroyed and stripped our families apart from the prison, from the laws, from back in the day of slavery, from the way that they do. When y'all want to talk about food stamps, they tell you if you get food stamps in Section 8, can't no man be in the house. I know deep.
Yep.
I do too much reading, too much studying, too much research. I damn near can't even sleep at night because I want to know why my family, my people, we struggling at a high level. I don't get it. So you know what? I'm up nighttime studying, highlighting, reading shit. While everybody else might be asleep, Wesley, I'm up. I can't sleep because I want to know why we like this. It ain't no, oh, we just want to be like that. Hell no. As a kid, I ain't want to be like that. That's what I was raised in. They broke us. And it's up to us to regain us. They broke us. They stripped everything from us. And until we realize that, we're going to be forever like this. Point blank period. They broke us. If you get foster, what is called? Food stamps. Yeah. If you get anything, they say you can't.
No, that's not
Section 8. Yeah.
No, it's families. It is families on Section 8. That is not true. No, it is families on Section 8.
My father has a Section 8 tenant. The man he's not a part of the Section 8.
He can't.
If they are a married couple.
A man can't get on Section 8 by himself. Can a man get on Section 8? They cannot. Only a woman can get on Section 8.
Listen, if they are family, we talked about this one.
If they are family, you got to make a small ass little amount of money.
But the point is, listen,
you advocating for the brokenness of the, come on, me.
Oh my God.
Yo, I got Section 8 tenants. They tell you can't, they illegally bring the man in after they get the house.
Wesley.
You're right.
They are married as a couple. They can still get the benefits. Everybody is not going to make $30,000, $50,000, $80,000. Some people have to be okay with the $20,000 that they're going to make together. It's a reality.
The only way you can get Section 8 in New York is if you in a shelter, you have been domestic abuse or anything like that, and that's 9 times out of 10 for a woman. That's it, and that's all.
Okay, but here in Maryland, as a couple,
here in Maryland,
they can be.
I know hella business owners that got Section 8 tenants. I have never seen one father come with a Section 8 voucher yet. And we've been doing this shit for over 6 years. I always see women, and then the women bring the man in after she get the lease.
Because we're talking about baby mothers and baby fathers, or women with children who meet a man, and that's her boyfriend, and he comes.
And what you talking about is a rarity.
But you know what? I want to know how many people that's married and that's on Section 8. Let me see that.
She talking about something that's rare.
We're talking about poor people. But as long as they're married, they're that one family unit, they got them kids together or whatever. You got some people who not even married who getting benefits all together. The man, he was receiving Section 8, receiving food stamps, he got a baby mother or whatever. She was already getting services. They combine their benefits together. It is happening.
Yeah, that's happening.
So as far as Section 8, I don't know a lot of single fathers with children. I don't know. But a lot of times the men are too proud to go out for the benefits. It's going to be a lot of different things that go into why you don't see the men with Section 8 vouchers and all that. Again,
they're not really going to give it to you. And I'm going to give y'all, and I hate, because it's like I be having when my mother died and I got Elijah, yo, the fucking system wasn't trying to give me nothing, and this is on my mother's grave. I'm trying to plead. I'm like, yo, he ain't even my son. Right. He ain't even my son. His mother and father was killed in the city. They damn near didn't want to give me nothing. I had to fight tooth and nail to get the foster care, the little stipend. I gotta use my own personal situation on live to be real with it. They ain't out here giving men nothing. Hell no. I'm down there. They was looking at me, telling me I couldn't get the stamps, and I'm like, yo, here foster child, like, but you make something. Yo, this child lost his mother and his father. How you looking at me to raise? If you do research, it says to raise a child properly is a certain amount of money that's required. I'm like, yo, he don't got a 2-parent household. Like, you don't see the situation, the circumstance. I had to fight. When I first started with Elijah 4 years ago, I had to fight with them to get like $1.50 food stamps. She said, like, we don't have a pride and an ego, whatever word she just used. I had to humble myself because I can take care of myself. But for him to have more and raise my little brother, I'm like, man, let me take my ass down here for him to have more. It ain't about no ego when it comes to the child. They wasn't trying to have it. But a woman go down there, man,
who don't want people in their business. There's a lot of people who don't want to jump through the hoops that they want to take you through to give it to you. So it's a lot of reasons why they're not going to go through it. So Ronald was saying we overlook the most important power, and that is seeking wisdom from the highest power and staying consistent with it.
Who is that?
Ronald Moore.
No, who is the highest power?
Probably God. So they, meaning they, white people, get into rehab and we go to jail. So Ronald's saying being conformed to only the world and the things of the system will keep you trapped to systematic behavior. What was agreeing? Jamel is saying real talk. Derek is saying my man speaking the truth. What was saying Ronald couldn't have said it better. What was saying facts. What was saying Wesley is right. What was saying absolutely. What was saying yes. I love y'all for this. Can't stop watching. Thank you all. Shelly is saying a man can't get on Section 8. Ronald is saying too many homes are broken because of lack of good leadership of the parents. Even if they are in poverty, most parents are comfortable with that and they don't seek to correct that path to change that, then also rubs off on the children and people around them, and it just goes on and on and on. Thank you.
No. Let's dissect that. Read it again. Let's annotate this. Read it again.
Too many homes are broken because of the lack of good leadership of the parents.
Pause. Second line, he said it rubs off on what? The children. It rubs off on the children. My point exactly. The children are raised like that. Once you are raised like that as a child, it goes with you into adulthood unless something comes in there and show you.
I don't agree.
Unless something shows you. What's showing you? Point out what's showing you.
You learn.
Once
you're old enough and you see these things. When I was poor and I was in middle school, the kids who came to school, they came from the city, had all kind of great shit. Best clothes, best everything. So as I started to get older, from things that I've seen as examples, I was able to want more and do better for myself. So what was saying, yes, he can faster than us, and yes, they can have an unmarried man in the home, mainly if he has a record. But they're sneaking them in.
I know what they're doing.
Renee is saying, I've lived in different states. I've learned not every ghetto is the same. Not every black high-class living is the same. However, while working for the Board of Education, parents have to... Parents have to get involved. I've worked with Black principals who didn't care if the parents got information. Principals didn't want to pay for tutoring required by the Common Core curriculum to bring the students to grade level to be college ready. Look up the curriculum for your state. Every state was required to sign up for it unless they could prove the curriculum for their state was working for their students. This was by federal government. What was saying not all true. Hey Tamara, hey Lisa. Dewanya is saying, oh, there are some single men with children. Like he's saying, they give them help to get assistance.
I'm telling you for fact, whoever just said that, it's
your
facts.
girlfriend that you need to
Facts.
take on a date.
No, we ain't talking about that right now. We talking about facts. I want to talk about facts because the men that I know, I can like, yo, everybody just don't like that business out there, and that's why I came back. I know hella men that do raise their kids singly because by me, what's funny is I didn't know about this, but by me raising Elijah as a single parent man, for some type of way, the universe brought me to meeting a bunch of other single parent fathers. It's like the universe worked that way. So when I became a single parent father, some type of way, I started connecting with other single parent fathers, right? And then me going along with that, I'm learning hella other stuff like, damn, yo, you got 2 daughters and you're a single parent father. The mother that left and moved to another state because she wanted to be with somebody else. You can't get no help. Like, damn, bro, if that was the woman, she'd be eating like a fat rat. It's a lot of men I can bring up here, bro, but people don't want the information out there.
Did the men do their due diligence or did they just give up?
It ain't about that. The system is not really on the man's side.
No.
It's not.
When I talk to people, men who are having issues with their baby mothers, half the time, none of them are willing to go to the court and file against this mother like they're supposed to. When they
people will tell you that work at the courthouse that is really not set up for the father to win. When I was in class,
I shouldn't be telling you that because they cannot give you no legal advice.
I ain't talking about the courthouse. I said that work down there. It's like one of my professors that's a retired judge told us in class the system is not really set up for men to win. It's set up for women. This man is a judge, yo. He's a professor. I can't give his information, but I know what he told me in my class and the books I was reading and when he was asking questions.
But I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is when you go and you really believe in that, people are not fucking trying to do what they need to do. And there's so many men out here who are not getting the rights to their children, who are not doing anything just because they believe the system is not fucking set up. I bet you go into the white communities, and when them white men want their children,
they get horse too.
Okay. All right. So what was saying? Some guys give up because of the bull crap when the man is the only parent. So that's not true. They say because of records and all. So that's true. That's what Renee is saying. Dewanya is saying, unfortunately, that is true in some cases. Hey, Mr. Walston. Hey, Tamara. Hey, Dion. So what was the real that you were saying, Wesley?
What you mean?
You were when you were angry, saying, "Let me give y'all the real."
I forgot. You took me way off.
Right.
You took me way off. You ain't let me get my point out. My whole point to all this is, if any black man or woman that live in America, if you think you got the same exact opportunity as a white woman or a white man, you are sadly mistaken. If you go look at and talk to these people in these high positions behind closed doors, y'all need, it's like some type of way we need to try to get this to happen. If you go talk to black doctors that have made it to be a doctor, that work at hospitals, and you get them to talk off air, they'll tell you about the mistreatment that they go against just because they are black, but they still a doctor. I've spoken to some of them. If you go talk to top engineers or people who make it to high levels, they get mistreated because they black. It ain't no everything is just given to you. Like,
who is pretending like prejudice don't exist?
Y'all saying not you. Some of the people on there. Some of them on here talking about we got the same opportunity.
But they can have their own opinion. What I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck what their
That's not
opinion. They
opinion,
can have it.
We talking
How
about
you gonna
facts.
say it's not an opinion?
That's
If that's
facts.
how they feel, that's how they feel.
That's facts.
Who
We
said that?
talking
What you
facts.
saying is facts.
That racism and white people run America, that's facts,
But
bro.
listen.
Facts.
You can have your opinion.
No, I ain't say no opinion. I
We
didn't
are
speak
not
no
going
opinion
to
just now.
invalidate anybody's opinion.
I ain't speak no
We're not
opinion.
doing that.
I ain't speak no opinion just now.
So
I stated facts.
Derek is saying the white men lose too. I've seen it plenty of times. Only rarely do they win.
No, don't talk to her. Don't teach her nothing, Dirk. Let her think she know.
Listen.
No, ain't no listen.
I'm a woman. I got girl power.
She be talking all this trash. You don't even know. Like,
how you saying I don't know?
You don't know. And what you do know, you know what you're doing. You do know. You just want to go at me.
I love you, Wesley.
That's what it's about. I just figured it out.
So yes, that's it. I mean, I just want you, Wesley. You always acting like your side is the only side. I've never tried to discount what you do.
I didn't say my side is the only side. I'm on the side of my people. I don't know whose side you on, but I'm on the side of my people. You can be on everybody's side if you want. You think you want to have a white arm, a black arm, a yellow leg, an orange leg. I look like this. I'm on the side of us. I don't hate or hope.
Listen, my whole thing is we have to embrace the reality.
And the reality is we have been mistreated, set back, and systematically oppressed for hundreds of years.
How long are we going to use that as
Do you understand how many? We only been free for 150 years. We were enslaved for over 400.
This slavery is still going on.
That's tripping right now. We was captured, dropped through the mud, killed, slaughtered for over 400 years. Do y'all not understand? We have only been free for 150. That shit don't leave out the system that fast. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
Ron is saying, in other hip hop news, there are also some people who look around and want to reach for better, who seek to meet people who can help them with the wisdom to change and become better in life. But if you don't want better, and so nothing is going to change, then you'll remain in the same state of mind, and with that, you will remain in the same situation. So what we're saying, we got too comfortable. We, Martin Luther King, said we could join together with each other. It was good and bad. If you want to get deep, when that happened, we were so happy. We were so happy when that happened that we could eat and all with them and forgot what we could do and keep going. That's true. I've heard that a lot.
My phone about to die, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. So I talk to y'all
friends.
Next Monday. Tune in 7 to 9. So I can rip the shreds off me. She coming in and she be talking all this smack. I'm coming at her. I'm ripping the shreds off of her. Look. When she walk out this door, her skin gonna feel like pork.
Wesley,
see
you're
the
not
pork
ripping
beef,
shreds off of
pork.
anything.
If y'all know what the pork chicken, the pork, and the pork beef look like, it just fall apart as soon as you touch it. That's how she gonna be when she walk out the door. She be crumbling like.
Ripping the
shreds off.
be hugging when I walk out
Good night.
the door.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is, since my phone dying.
Right, so you want to cut us off because your phone died. Go ahead. Right, go ahead.
Good night.
So Derek is saying he ain't pulling shreds off of anything except for his voice box. He's gonna be out here getting tea and halls and all that. We let Miss Young with his drink because he needed. So Derek is saying the past 150 years was filled with lynchings, rapes, and mass jail incarceration. Hey, Miss Myers. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Derek is saying there was a geneticist on TED Talks that scientifically linked a gene that is trauma passed down genetically, and that can be found in DNA. All right, y'all. So we only have 8 minutes left remaining. I want to thank everybody for coming and listening to our argument that we're having. We love it. Thank you all. We're here every Monday night from 7 to 9, arguing back and forth, saying the same thing just in two different ways. And I love it every time we can have this intellectual discussion. Wes, look at me. You still cute. Look at him, y'all.
What they say about intellectual?
We're having our intellectual discussion. It's not an argument. So, we're still always going to come here talking about real topics happening in real communities, searching for real solutions. Hopefully, Wesley can get that building and get the parents, the kids, the grandparents, everybody in the school so that they can, want to do better for themselves. Any motivational words, Wesley? Come on, I got homework to do.
So for all my people out there, we gotta come together. We gotta do this together. We can bring change to our community, but we can't worry about what the government gonna bring us or do for us. We can't worry about what any other race of people gonna bring us or do for us. We gotta come together and do it ourselves. So somebody bring me some tea, because I need you. My voice cracking up over here. Neeuq to make me lose my voice. I just got it back last week and it's gone again. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.